What is he doing, honey? I don't know. It just looks like he's trying to shovel or something. I don't know. What is he doing? Did you call someone? Make sure you notify the neighbors. Nope, he's not dead. He's fine. False alarm. False alarm, man. Don't worry.
Cool and Warm. I've been working on this song legitimately for over a year. And I can prove it because in the video, there is footage of me with an entire year span in between the clips that you see. That's all I have written so far.
Money!
You wonder why I would wait that long or why I would stretch it out that long, right? Well, the song calls for a comparison to weather. And I thought it would be a fantastic idea if I filmed myself in every season of the year, like visually every season, not just I go in my basement and I record in autumn and then I go in my basement in summer and record it. When you juxtapose them, it's so strange because when you see a clip of me in the snow and then the very next clip is me wading in the water of the ocean in the summer, it does something to you because that water feels cold now, but it's actually hot. And that's the entire motif of the song, is getting you to pull and tug with your own brain about the concept of cool and warm and whether or not that should be the new extremes that we deal with instead of hot and cold. The whole song asks the philosophical question, is it better to appease the middleman and eliminate the fringe elements of a spectrum, as in hot and cold, or is it better to leave the spectrum open and allow people to choose where they want to fall? We live throughout the whole year, and when it's hot, we start taking off clothes to try to get cooler, and when it's cold, we start putting clothes on to get warmer. If you were to analyze it that deeply, human nature would say, well, why don't we always just have it cool or warm to make more people happy all at once instead of having to deal with the trouble of different scenarios? The more you standardize thought, the more you try to bring it towards the middle to please the most people, you are alienating others in the process. The message is that life is better when you leave the spectrum open and allow people to choose where they fall. So for example, in a weather spectrum, let's say if it's like mild outside, it's 50 degrees, you like when it's cooler, you'll wear a short sleeve shirt. But somebody else likes when it's warmer, so they'll wear a sweatshirt. Same weather, two different people being individuals, and we allow them to do that. That's the whole point of the song, is to allow people to be equal but different. The kaleidoscope has three main meanings. The first is that everything looks so pretty, but the words I'm speaking of are ultimately evil. So it's up to you to determine which you pay attention to more. Is it the words that are striking you, or is it the visuals that are striking you? And that is very telling of what you pay attention to in somebody's argument, or when they're trying to persuade you to believe something, what you're actually paying attention to. Is it the decoration that they're putting around it? Is it the way it makes you feel, or is it the substance of it that is changing your heart? And it draws the contrast between heart and mind. The second is that each kaleidoscope visualization is a corruption of every landscape that is presented thus far. You have every single season turned into these kaleidoscopes, and they represent the standardization or the simplification, the translation into meaningless numerical values of every season thus far, because they are all symmetrical, they're unchanging, and most importantly, they're unrecognizable. And that leads into the third. The actual contents of the screen, so that'd be like my body, like maybe a goose in the background, or like the leaves, it's unrecognizable. It has all been manipulated and translated into something that is numerically represented in a kaleidoscope. It just goes to show that when you do try to standardize all of this thought, it loses meaning, that it is unrecognizable at this point. You have attributed a label to something that doesn't mean anything anymore. It's the bastardization of free thought. And it culminates in this kaleidoscope that ultimately swallows me and I disappear inside of it. This story is about proposing a flaw in convenient thought and the inevitable fall of a society that does not embrace diversity of thought and freedom of expression. It's not about any person in particular. No, it's not about Donald Trump. It's a hypothesis of a flaw in human nature, when we become sheep instead of shepherds, forcing out dissenting opinions to sterilize one accepted opinion in the middle. This story highlights the welcoming embrace of groupthink while underscoring its impending doom. The mean, the mode, the range is all the new median. If you take anything away from this video, let it be tolerance for the opinions of others and encouraging a conversation rather than destruction. The world naturally allows more opportunity for the free flow of ideas and propels good ideas into the limelight of success when everybody has the opportunity to safely and freely express them. That's what this song means to me, and I'd love to know how it resonated with you, so leave a comment. This elaboration, or chisel, of my own song was taken from a podcast that is exclusive to the Chiselers School. And if you want to get more behind-the-scenes info like this and one-on-one training, you can become a chiseler in the Chiselers School. You can locate it at patreon.com/Mat4yo. Link is in the description, and we can talk about stuff like this all day long. I'm Mat4yo, and that's all for you today.